Here I am for Sudha Live, my happy place with you all, my Friday evening. I know this is global, and some of you are seeing this on LinkedIn, some of you are seeing this on YouTube, and some of you are seeing this on Twitter. And so you're already into the weekend for most time zones. I'm joining you from Silicon Valley here. Apologies. I had some issues connecting Zoom to stream here. So here I am. You're just going to see me. There's no Zoom sharing of any screen or anything else that's happening today. But I promised you that I have a very, very exciting announcement to make. So we'll get to that. So for those of you who are new to this, Sudha Live, I'm Sudha Jamthe. I'm a technology futurist and I research IoT, autonomous vehicles, and artificial intelligence space to look for futuristic trends to help you guide on the journey to go change the world. And I'm a believer of a limitless world. From the limitless potential of technology to limitless potential of you and your human capital. So, what is my surprise today? So for those of you who are part of my student community, I teach AI, artificial intelligence bootcamp for product and business managers at Stanford Continuing Studies. So I have to answer a question for you. I got a lot of ping from some of you who are interested in taking my Stanford course from different time zones where you might miss out on attending live for some of the sessions or most of the sessions. So your question was, is it worth it if I miss on the live interaction? So my style is to keep our class very interactive. So you will get maximum benefit if you're able to attend live and interactive. The good news is Stanford Continuing Studies wants this available for everybody. So it is recorded. And so you can come back, watch the recording. And what I do is, because we have people from every time zone, or even if you're in my local time zone, you may not feel like interacting that day. So I don't want to miss out on benefiting from my course to learn AI to work for you towards your goal. So you might be working in a company and building AI and want to know what is the best practice. How do I do product management? Or you might be career pivoting into AI from another field, or not working on AI, but trying to get into AI. Or you might be working in industry somewhere and you're seeing the potential of AI. Or you might be an entrepreneur, or you might just be somebody who's looking at a local problem and want to see, is AI the solution for me? And how do I get into this? How do I make that happen? So there's going to be a mix of people from variety of industries, variety of backgrounds. So that's what makes it exciting in the class. And I host other. So the class from this is the Artificial Intelligence Bootcamp for Product and Business Managers on continuing studies.stanford.edu, starting April 25th, Monday, from 4 to 6 p.m. this time. By this time, we'll have finished the class, and for 5 weeks. And typically the class is, record, listen, watch. So if you miss it, you can come back, watch the recording. But for those of you who are going to be at different time zones, I offer one day, once a week, there'll be one class where I will offer a office hour. So the office hour would be with me, one-on-one with you, and you can schedule that time with me. It typically will be either on a Thursday or a Friday, and I will try to do 2 office hours based on where people are coming from. Suppose I have people from Australia, I will do an office hour in the evening. Otherwise, I'll typically do it my morning time, California morning time, that has an overlap with Europe and Africa and Latin America. So that's my plan. And so you need to have a real goal of how you're going to benefit from the class. That's important. Then you can get the best value from the class. If you just want to get a certificate, you can come attend, or you can come watch the recording and you finish the whole recording, and I can see whether you've come back, watched all the recording. That also is good if you're just looking for a certificate. So, but I would recommend taking this only if you're serious about getting value from doing something with it. So the other thing is, my student alumni, I've thought about 500 people so far, IoT, autonomous vehicle business, and AI bootcamp, or business of self-driving car. They come together on Wednesdays. It's called Weekly Wednesday. So it's Weekly WED, it's a short form, hosted by one of my student alums, Yash Yashashwini, who's an AI researcher, on Wednesdays at 18 hour in Europe or Nigeria, or 9 a.m. on Wednesdays. and we bring a speaker, and it's a very, very, very global forum, and you get to interact. So for those of you who are taking the class, I would recommend come to this, find out best practice, find out different dimensions of the AI problem, see who is doing what, are there people doing something in your industry, and how you can benefit from it. As I said, today I had some Zoom trouble, so I'm not doing this from Zoom. So you can only see me and hear me, so I'm not able to share a screen. But I have my newsletter called bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter, Jamthe, my last name, Jamthe newsletter. And it goes out on Sunday mornings. And everything that I'm talking about here, all the links and references, I will be sharing it there. So the last weekly Wednesday, we had an amazing speaker from the fintech world who actually talked to us about evolution of technology, AI in finance industry. Her name is Shubha Whip. She spoke about how it is not just about the technology and how you bring everything together. So it's Bua Shubram, and she spoke about her journey, and it's an entrepreneurial journey. So she talked about fintech and AI. So if you're just interested in fintech, and that's your thing, that's great. But if you're looking to draw inspiration of how do I find my mark, how do I solve a business problem, what's the reality of it, this Bua Shubram's talk was fantastic. So um, it's going to be on YouTube, and it is also going to be the bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter. And I apologize that I'm not able to share that live with you today. Otherwise, I'll be showing a snippet of that. And you can add a comment or chat, and I will come back and add the links in the chat too. And maybe I can, reply to you if you're looking at specific aspects, or to connect with one of our speakers. So, spoke to you about the Stanford class, Stanford Continuing Studies class. Spoke to you about our weekly Wednesday previous speaker from last week. And the next big thing, and I promised an announcement, is this Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a webinar. Periodically, I show up and I will do a webinar on a topic, and I like to prepare for a while, so you don't see me, just like that, talking every month or so. So I have a topic on AI Research 101. And why is AI research important? How do you get involved? You could be a researcher, you could be a junior researcher, or you could be somebody who's just wanting to get into research, or you just think, I don't know, I have nothing to do with research. I'm working as a product manager, I'm working on building business solutions using AI and figuring it out. Or you're curious, one of my students or prospective students who's dipping your toe into AI, but you could get involved in research. And so what does that look like? So I'm going to do AI Research 101 at Weekly Wednesday this week. So look out for that. And you could join Business School of AI on LinkedIn, and you can get all the latest information and the links that we are sharing also. That could be an easy way if you don't want to sign up to a newsletter with an email. But the why it is a big deal if I'm just doing a webinar on AI research, what's the big deal? It's a big deal because when we say AI research, it's not just about becoming a researcher and publishing a paper. I was just talking to an amazing AI research fellow. Her name is Dr. Chitra Durai, and she actually said she lives her life by this quote from Richard Hamming. If you do not work on an important problem, it's unlikely you will do important work. That's the quote. If you do not work on an important problem, it's unlikely you will do important work. What does that mean? It just means you have to pick the problem that you're going to solve. So many of us, and I've spent many years in corporate, working for many companies in tech. I've enjoyed my work there, worked with amazing colleagues. But one of the things we always try to ground ourselves is, what are we focusing on? When we're trying to innovate in tech, we're trying to solve problems. It's very easy. I'm one of those people who gets very excited about solving problems. If you give me a problem, I'll start running, trying to solve it. I had to ground myself to say, okay, what problem am I solving? But I did not meet Dr. Chitra Durai before to remind me of this quote. So I'm very inspired by Dr. Chitra Durai and her work as an IBM research fellow, and being very, very deliberate on what problem she picks and then uses AI to solve that problem. So it has to be a huge problem that has a huge impact on solving for a population of people with so much empathy. It's not just about business impact and making so much money. So she's running a startup now to solve for Alzheimer's dementia, and was telling me about how two-thirds of Alzheimer patients are women, and two-thirds of the caregivers are women. And she runs a startup which has two-thirds women also in there. So she's going to be coming to talk to us about what does it mean to be an AI research fellow and how to pick the problem, a big problem that is important problem to make a change in the world on something that's of passion to you. So when we do the AI Research 101 webinar at Weekly Wednesday next week, I'm going to talk to you about the how and the what of research, and how do you build a hypothesis, and how do you do data analysis, and how do you get started. But the starting point should be that I want to use AI to research a certain area. And one of the things that I've been passionate about, thanks to an influence from AI ethicist Susanna Raj, is how to make AI to be inclusive, so that it's not just the joy of building technology and say, hey, it can create this business impact, but to really make it work for everybody. And so my research papers, if you look at my Google Scholar, has been focused on how to make AI to be inclusive inside autonomous vehicles, how to make AI inclusive in several different areas. So that's kind of where I focus on. And your passion might be on doing language translation from Latin America to bring that to the world, or it could be solving for a specific problem, or could be, you maybe it's a job search problem, or financial risk modeling and getting loans for users anywhere in the world. And so there could be any dimension of how you're looking at what problem you want to solve for, and whether AI is the answer. If AI is the answer, how do you do research, and how do you actually go build out and publish this, and why do you have to publish? The short answer is, I have written 6 books on IoT, AI, autonomous vehicles over the years. I've written thousands of articles and given a lot of talks, so they get archived, they get quoted back. But I found that when I publish something as research, there's a methodology. So I am not giving opinions, not even if I'm quoting something and giving stats, but I'm building. When it is a research paper, everything I'm saying is building as a citation from somebody else's respected work. And when I give an opinion, I substantiate with data. I make a hypothesis and I say, okay, let me prove it, and then I give data on that. So it's beautiful to publish something as a research paper, but the real value is once you publish it as research, it gets cited and it gets built upon by other people. So it's not just your work is there in isolation. So if you're passionate about something, you want to solve a problem, you can go to a local neighborhood and you can solve the problem. But I can tell you, if it is a real viable problem, chances are there are 7 other people in the world trying to solve the same problem. And so you're better off if you publish this as research, and then other people could build on it, and you can get to a better solution, a bigger solution, and solve the problem in more ingenious ways or in scale and things like that, right? So that's my thinking. So weekly Wednesday, I'm going to do this webinar on research 101. And the other big thing is, this is April, and on April 9th is IoT Day. And I get together with Roxy Stimson, who's an engineering leader from Seattle. She works in F5. We come together and we bring a 24-hour session and this time we are going to do, last year we did 22 women leaders, but experts talking about different topics to educate us for 22 hours. This time we said we're going to go around the clock. So 3 o'clock my time in California, till 3 o'clock the next day, so April 8th to April 9th. It's 24 hours. It's essentially April 9th, 9 a.m. Think about this. Wherever you are in the world, April 9th, 9 a.m., there will be a session that will stream for you. We're going to start at April 9th, 9 a.m. Melbourne time with Professor Malka Halgamulge, who's going to share her research. So we're going to have research readout from amazing researchers. The entire session is entire 24-hour sessions is going to be all led by women speakers. And for those of you who are saying why all women speakers, look at the stats. We are trying to make a small dent in the stats on how many women speakers are out there. I've never seen a conference with 50% women speakers. I've never seen a conference with more than 50% women speakers. So this is our chance to, do our part to bring amazing women from around the globe. So you get to see and learn from somebody who's an expert in their field and very, very passionate about it. So you're going to hear that. It's just starting from Melbourne 9 a.m. And then we'll have Singapore 9 a.m. and we'll go on all the way. And then my morning from 10 o'clock our time till 3 o'clock for 5 hours, we'll have a live stream where some of these women for whom it makes time zone sense will be there. So Dr. Chitra Durai, I told you about, who likes to solve big, important problems, is going to come and talk to us about her experience of what does a research fellow do. She was a IBM research fellow, and now she's an entrepreneur. And what does that research fellow job look like? What does that career look like? And then she's going to share some of her research work. And she's focused on the problem of helping people who were going to lose their home in a large scale in US many years back. And so I won't tell you more. I'll wait for her to tell us a little bit about that. Other than that, there's going to be a whole bunch of women, amazing women, and so we're going to get that. So we are going to have a sign-in link for you to sign up directly on Business School of AI. And again, I'll share the link here. I will share that also in the newsletter. So that's the other thing. So that is my big announcement on IoT Day. Come join us. And one of the things while we are doing this, I cannot help but notice that we still have the war from Ukraine. So one of my student, Vlad Meisler, has put together a newsletter on LinkedIn called 5 Minutes. Let me go to the website. Let me give you the exact name. It says today's Ukraine news in 5 minutes. And today we are on the 37th day of the war. Can you believe that? It's just unbelievable. So he tells you about the latest, what's happening in 5 minutes. And it gives you resources of how you can get involved, how you can solve the problems and help those people. It's just, heartbreaking. So I hope you will follow Vlad Meisler and his newsletter. And again, I'm going to share that in here in the chat and also in the my newsletter, bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter. I find it strange to actually say bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter, a URL, because I'm not able to show the URL here. And so hopefully we'll solve for that Zoom problem next time, and you'll get to see the screens and you'll get to see the videos. And there's a beautiful video from Roxy Stimson explaining what is IoT Day and how we are going to go about this. And I'm going to put that on Business School of AI, and I'm going to share that link. So you'll find that in the landing page also, where I'm saying you can share that. So before I close out, the last thing I want to show is there is a site. As I was thinking about IoT Day, one of the things we do is I'm not going to call women I already know as my friends and just bring a bunch of women speakers. My experience is women are working in, they're not having equal opportunity, hitting a glass ceiling and trying to make a change in our little worlds. And so we try to connect people from across different time zones. So when we say 24 hours, 24 sessions, we are going to start with Asia and yeah, Australia, Asia time zone. Then we are going to go to, I think we have some sessions from India, which is going to be led by Yash, who's our weekly Wednesday host. We have Divya Dwivedi, who is going to talk to us about AI audits. That is also in the India time zone. And then we wake up Europe, and then 9 a.m. in UK, 9 a.m. in Europe, in different countries in Europe. You're going to get a bunch of sessions. And then we come to the North America band, and you will get sessions from North America, which is us, which overlaps with Latin America and Africa. So you're going to get sessions from there. So that's our plan. And this research 101 session will repeat and play in all the sessions, and then you'll hear from the researchers everywhere. Other than researchers, if you're going to do AI research, maybe you're new to this, so there are some other sessions on IoT and AI, different aspects of AI that we are looking to get from different women to teach us. So you learn some aspect of AI that you don't know, you learn about how to do AI research, and then you kind of get started. So there is a beautiful site I came across called africanobservatory.ai, and their whole purpose is to bring African voices, values, and experiences to the global discussion on AI. And then in there, they have they have a section called Women in Focus, and they are showcasing Professor Oluka Pros Nagita. And she is an amazing person. She's actually a doctor, a PhD in management studies from University of South Africa, and she is currently working at Uganda Management Institute as a lecturer. And today, when we are impacted by COVID and the pandemic and facing, the supply chain crisis, it's interesting to look at her research, because her research is focused on public procurement and supply chain management. So we are hoping that you will get introduced to the work of amazing women from around the globe and draw inspiration and learn something. And then, maybe we will move ahead and build some research posters, and maybe you can join us and we can go solve some problem. And one of the things I find very fascinating in all this is, uh, when we are thinking AI research, it's not just about publishing the paper. What you see as a paper in somebody's Google Scholar is their end product. I know amazing women, amazing men, amazing, people who have been working on solving specific problems, trying to build out research, and are just sitting on it in, improving it and getting empirical numbers for a long time. Some of this research takes years before you get there. So you're going to see the output of that. But if you suddenly look at why she's talking about AI research as one thing, given my interest in bringing a diverse set of people together on all my events, and given my interest in just connecting across different silos, the one thing I would say is, it is important for you to bring your passion to solve whatever problem you want to solve in whatever area you want to solve, but bring your local knowledge. That becomes the data that feeds the AI. And given my background from data, I'm going to drive towards some session on that, so as part of our IoT day event. So with that, I want to wrap up. Thank you, everybody, and I will follow up and try and share my links, which I could not share, unfortunately. And follow up with me. And wherever you're seeing this, you can chat, tweet back, post a comment, and hopefully, I will be able to respond back to that. Otherwise, just come back to the Jamthe newsletter and you'll get that, or go to Business School of AI on LinkedIn, and then you'll be able to get that. And I hope to see some of you. We are not going to send this to everybody who's already on our weekly Wednesday list, because it's too huge a list. I'm not going to send this to everybody on the Jamthe newsletter list and just, ask thousands of people to show up. We're going to do this a little bit more streamlined. So you need to sign up for IoT Day. So look out for the link, and hopefully, I will see some of you there. And if you are a researcher, or you have this amazing researcher who is not connected with me, who is not in one of the women that I'm talking about, talk to me, connect with me on LinkedIn and message me back, or reply back and tag your friend here on any medium where you're seeing this, and recommend anybody else that we should be including. We are planning for 24 women. I think we are short of 6 women, so we could take a few more amazing people if you're able to recommend them from their work. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you online, definitely. Otherwise, I'll see you on Wednesday at AI research topic at Weekly Web. Otherwise, I'll see you back here next week. And with that, let me wrap up. Thank you, and stay safe. Be well. Bye. Okay. And I am going to end the stream. Okay. Bye.